What's up, guys? Thanks for coming back for another episode. So, March 5th, we're going to be going over my day trades. Um, Up $210 today. Um, but I over traded a little bit there on Tesla. So, even though I'm up $210, on my P&L, I'm not up that much after commissions. So, only about up a little less than $100 after commissions. So, some serious over trading there, but nonetheless, I did have some good trades, all considering. We'll get into that here in a minute, but I wanted to look at the SPY and talk about that real quick. So we're on the daily time frame. I'll zoom in here on the past couple of days of trading. We could see yesterday's trading. We were gapping up pre-market and we dropped and sold all the way down off to this 276 level, but we got bought all the way back halfway up from the opening price and we closed up here in the 279. Now, today's trading, we opened up at relatively the same level and we sold off down to 278 and got bought back up in the same manner, but we traded in a much tighter range. So let's go ahead and look here on the 1 minute time frame. So now each candlestick's 1 minute. Sorry. So this is yesterday's trading over here where we had this big sell off and then we were bought back up. Now today we just traded between this range here of these 278.50s, and let me change my drawing tool here to mark this level out. So we stay between this range of 278.50s and 279.70s between this tight range, and we can see now after market we've dropped down and we bounced off this 278.50s again. So buyers and sellers are agreeing on this price here. Everything into consideration after this huge panic sell-off here, me personally, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow expecting the market to be moving down. That being said, it could be up. To me, it really doesn't matter. I'm a trader. I don't have any open positions, so I could care less which way the market moves. But I always try to keep this in mind because it's nice to know the overall direction of the market whenever you want to know the overall the health of the market when you're in a stock because the the stocks that we trade, they move with the market. Each stock moves with the market to a certain extent. I think it's called beta. It's the amount that I'm not going to get into all that. I don't know enough, I don't think, to talk about that. But let's just get into my trades from here before I start rambling on about the SPY too much. Alright, so the first trade that I took was on target. Now, if y'all have watched my past couple episodes, you'll probably know that I'm trying to eliminate the losses. I'm trying to get my win-loss ratio up, trying to get more wins, trying to take my time and be patient. And one things I've been doing to help improve on that is waiting until after the first 15 minutes of trading. So until to take my first trade. So I don't want to take my first trade until 9:45 a.m. So I was following Target because it was up on their guidance or their earnings or their sales or something, and I did a little basic research and just looked up a couple things like their PE ratio just to make sure they're bringing in money and that they're not hugely overvalued or anything like that. And I don't do too much research at all into it because you don't want to rely on any sources. Really, what we're most focused on is the price action. The price action is the king. It doesn't the price action is going to price the stock whatever the stock is supposed to be priced at. So we that's number one what we want to look at. But we always have these things in the back of our mind. So that being said, after a couple minutes of looking into the stock, I decide I want to go long. Okay, it was good. It looked good on the daily time frame too, and I wanted to go long on the stock. I wanted to take a long position. So if we, sorry, So let me zoom in here a little bit on today's trading for this stock for Target. So we can see it was gapping up on pretty decent volume and trading up in this range here between 278 and 276.50, and then at the open it just completely sold off. It dropped all the way back down to this blue dotted line here, this 75 level. This is sorry, I'm just having someone knock on my door. But so this 275 level is a level I had marked off here from back. If we pull up this time frame, this is the 1 day. This is a 1 year chart. Each candlestick is a day. This is just a support level I had from back here in this area, and I drew it across. But we sold off all the way down under that support level, and sorry guys. So we sold off all the, let me get to the, yeah, so we sold off all the way down under this support level, and this is where I took my long position right here as we pushed up above it, and I went long 50 shares at 274.93, and I set my stop loss right here under, sorry, let me change my drawing tool. So I went long 274.93, roughly right about in there where my arrows point, where that yellow line's pointing, and I set my stop loss right here at 274.30. So I was so and then so I bought into this reversal, so it had already reversed here, and I I could have gone bigger share size, and I should have, seeing this beautiful reversal that we had, and we got this push up, and we pushed up here over VWAP strong, and once we got up here, I sold 50 shares, so I took half of my position off at 276.30s, just a little bit above, this yellow line that I have marked. So I was up about 150 bucks at this point, and then we got this big drop off down to the VWAP, and we can see after this big red candle, the price consolidated right here, and I knew that this stock was, I felt, that's the other thing. I have two different strategies. It's a buy to hold strategy and a scalp strategy. When I bought this strategy down here, this is a buy to hold strategy. I'm expecting this stock to keep running. That's why I only sold out 50 shares here, because we were pushing. I only did that because I knew a pullback was coming, but I kept half my position because this is a buy to hold strategy. So I added to my position on the pullback, because normally when a stock is consolidated, pushing up through the VWAP, the volume weighted average price, strong like this, and then it consolidates and holds above it, it's normally going to do this curling action and push higher, but we can see it didn't really do that. I added, where did I add? Let me just show my trades to make this easier now. I don't like to always start out showing them because they can get kind of confusing, but I took out 50 shares here. Like I said, we got this pullback. I added 50, and then we got above the VWAP and above this purple line, which is 200 EMA, and then I added again on the VWAP, and then we got this drop through VWAP, and I stopped out there, and I made $90 on that trade. All right, so then I went to trading Tesla, and as you can see here, guys, this is why I didn't do the best on Tesla. This is over trading. Look how many tickets I have. This is insane. This is why I'm going to take these tickets off for right now. Alright, so the reason I was watching Tesla, guys, is because it's getting into this is the daily time frame. It's dropping down into this 270. It was up here in pre-market trading when I was watching it, and I was expecting this drop down to this level or a bounce. Actually, these two red lines, this is what I've been doing for every stock recently. I set out buy and sell areas. So areas where I want to buy, areas where I want to sell, and that just makes my whole thesis easier and quicker. I can go through more stocks. So these two red areas are sells. These are buy areas. We gap down into my buy area, and I bought down here this near the bottom is what I was trying to do. But I was being impatient. I got FOMO. I messed up, and I'm lucky to get out almost break even on this. I might have made a little bit of money, but I could have done things a lot better. That being said, I gotta get into this as quick as I can. So we dropped off. We sold off immediately, and I knew it was a short here on this pullback. I wanted to short, but at the same time, it was um we were in this blue area, and that would have gone against my plan, which was this was a buy area, so I would have been shorting in one of my set buy areas. So, and Tesla has like a cult-like following, guys. I know they're probably gonna push higher in the next couple of days. Tesla's gonna get balled up at these levels, so I didn't want to go short on this blue area. So I waited till it came down here, and I went long right around. I don't have time to go over my stop losses and everything on this video, but there's so many trades. But I went long right in this area, and I immediately stopped out on the next candle, and I went long at 72.19, and I stopped out at 71.50, and I lost $42 right here on this trade. And look, this is what I should have been waiting for. We set in a double bottom right here. If we draw a line right here, we can see this price touch this 270 areas twice, and then pushed up and then consolidated. And this is where I was watching here, and this is so funny. I was watching this consolidation. See how this price? This is classic. This is a buy right here. And look what I'm not joking. I was literally about when we got this drop down to this level. I said, okay, this is my buy area, and I go to click buy, and this candle shot all the way up to here in a half a second, all the way up to there. And at that point, right before I was going to click the button, then I didn't click the button because the price was that high. But then I'm like, wow. Guys, that's how many dollars is that in a second? I'm talking right when that candle it's $5.50. I'm not joking. It did made that move in 1 second. So I got FOMO after that. I got fear missing out. I thought, and this is where my emotions just took control of me, and I thought I was going to miss this run, so I didn't buy at the top, but we got this drop, and I knew, look how much volume is on this, guys. Hold on. Look at this green candle. There's so many buyers here. I knew at that point we had hit the bottom. This double top. We got this huge, massive $6 pop, and then I bought right here, and I didn't have any stop loss or anything set, and I stopped out immediately when it dropped lower for a $67 loss. So I was down over $100 on Tesla at that point. No, sorry. So after we got this, it dropped down to this. Let me zoom in a little bit. After I bought in this area, and we dropped down here, and I knew that this was going to get balled up because of this green candle and this price action. I knew we'd hit the bottom on Tesla, so I added in here, but we pushed up and I held through all this, but I got stopped out down here at break even. Alright guys, and then the last trade that I took at Tesla was over $200 trade that made up for those first losses on Tesla. I went long right in here at 11:30, and because I saw this price was just grinding up, and after the price had kind of stabilized then, and I set a real tight stop loss, and I went long 50 shares. We got this big pull up, and then I sold 25 shares here at the top of this push, and then we on this on this drop, I added 75 and sold out on the way up, and it was a $200 winner on that trade.